Hello everybody, thank you so much for signing in for today's video. You guys, one of my previous videos that I did was on how to incorporate loose pigments into one's eye makeup look, and for me it just made sense to do another one of these videos, but this time my entire focus is going to be on glitters. So if you are someone who loves all things sparkly, all things shiny and pretty, then you are in the right place, and stay tuned because I have so much that I need to talk about. Honestly, like, my layout right now is a little overwhelming. I have different brands of glitter that I want to discuss with you guys. I have different shades of glitter that I want to discuss. I have some really amazing dupes that I've lined up for all of you. So yeah, and apart from that, we're also going to be going into like a mini tutorial where I demonstrate how you can use glitters on your eye and the types of adhesive that I have to sort of glue the glitters onto your eyelids and which one I like the best and just all the good stuff. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Now, I have quite a few brands of glitters because I'm such a glitter addict. I'm not going to show you all the glitters I have from each brand because that will take forever. The first glitter brand that I'm going to start talking about is going to be Inglot Cosmetics. And the reason I'm going to be talking about this one first is because out of all my glitters, I feel the glitter specs on these are the most unique and also the most sophisticated. So this is the shade 49. It's a very golden shade. I think these Inglot cosmetic glitters are so fine, so beautiful. So you can just apply these on top of a cream eyeshadow without even using an adhesive and they're going to stick so well. The shade 49 I think is also really unique because while it's gold, it has these yellow green reflex in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's super pretty and it just catches the light in the most beautiful way. It's a very unique color, but also it's a very unique formula. I don't know if formula is the right word to describe what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that the glitter specs, the size and the quality of glitter specs is also really unique. And while I love chunky glitters, but sometimes, especially when you're going to an event and you want to add that sparkle to your eyes, but you don't want it to be too overdone, then these are the glitters I reach for. The other shade that I have from them, I have almost all their shades, but the ones that I'm going to show you, the second one is the size XL73. So XL73 means that these glitter specs are going to be just slightly larger than their regular glitter specs, and they have XL in a few shades. So these are the slightly bigger glitter specs, as you can see, but even these are much finer than all the other glitters that I have to show you. So even their XL sizes are still very fine, very beautifully cut, and just, I think these are gorgeous glitters. They're not called glitters, by the way. These are called body sparkles. So you can use them on the eyes, you can use them on the body, you can use them wherever you want. The next brand that I'm going to show you guys is probably one of the first brands I purchased when I had gotten into glitters, and this is NYX Cosmetics. So NYX Cosmetics launched their face and body glitters. These are called the Glitter Brilliance. Yes. These are again also very affordable, very pretty. The shine on these are amazing. Some of these are holographic, some of these are just one color, one base color. This is a very beautiful glitter. It's just one that I would use on more editorial looks, so not necessarily something I would use on my eyes if I'm just going to a wedding or something like that. So for me, these are like slightly more artistic, slightly more editorial colors. Now, a really good dupe for this that I discovered recently is by Beautify by Amna. And this is the shade F16 Berry. You guys, these are very similar. I mean, the NYX glitter has a slightly more pinkish undertone, whereas the shade Berry from Beautify by Amna has a slightly more reddish undertone. But honestly, like, I think once it's on the eyes, you won't be able to tell the difference from afar. Another NYX glitter that I want to show you guys is in the shade Gold. Now, this is a more wearable color. This is what it looks like. It's a very pale, shiny gold. This is a very easy color to pull off, especially for us desis, because we have a lot of gold embroidery in our clothes. And this is just going to complement that and bring that out even more. A really similar color to this one is also, again, by Beautify by Amna. This is the shade Trophy. Now, these two are almost the exact same. Like, I cannot tell a difference. neither in the color of the glitter or the glitter spec size. Only the Beautify by Amna one I think is a little more affordable than the NYX Glitter Brilliance. Another glitter that I have, which is very similar to these two, is by Violet Voss Cosmetics. This is in the shade Gary. Again, this is very similar to both of them. I think the only major difference that I can see in both of these is that the Violet Voss has a slightly larger glitter spec size as compared to the Beautify by Amna or the NYX glitter. But other than that, I think as far as the shade goes, these three are almost exactly the same. So if you're looking for a good pale glitter to invest in, either three of these would be a good option. The most reasonable out of all of this, I think, is the Beautify by Amna Chromatic glitter, followed by NYX Glitter Brilliance in the shade Gold. And I think the most expensive out of these three would be Violet Voss shade Gary. Another glitter that I want to show you by NYX is in the shade Teal. Now, again, this is one of the first glitters I ordered from the brand, and back then I thought this glitter shade was so unique. I hadn't seen anything like it up until the point that Beautify by Amna launched their glitter in the shade Olivia. I honestly do not think there is any difference between the two of these. These two are the exact same. Honestly, the exact same when it comes to the shade as well as the size of the glitter spec. Another glitter brand that I want to talk about is also a Pakistani brand. It is called Azall Cosmetics. They released this glitter in the shade Trendsetter. This one has a little bit of a purple, a little bit of a blue in the glitter as well. It's not an exact dupe for the NYX or the Beautify by Amna glitter, but it comes in the same color family, and it is a beautiful glitter on its own. It has a little more shift in the color though, so bear that in mind. Another Azall Cosmetics glitter that I think is just so pretty is in the shade Prom Night. The Azall Cosmetic glitters do have a chunkier glitter size, so bear that in mind. I do not mind a chunkier glitter. The only thing with this is you have to be a little careful when you're taking it off, because once a glitter gets chunkier, you have the possibility of it scratching your eye as you take it off. So just be very careful and very gentle on your eye as you take it off. But I mean, it's extremely reflective. It's very, very beautiful. And a color that I think is very similar to the Azall Cosmetics glitter is by J.Cat Beauty. And this is the shade Champagne Kisses. These are the J.Cat Rocking the Night Sparkle Powder. You just have to be very careful when you take the cap off. There's no like protective lid or anything on here. So I mean, there's always a possibility of you wasting some product as it drops out. So just be very careful about that. Both of these have this really soft rosy hue to them that I really enjoy. Again, very, very pretty, beautiful glitters. You guys should definitely check them out because these are both very inexpensive. All right, next up, we have another J.Cat Beauty glitter. This is in the shade Tangerine. Now, this is a very unique color. I would use this color for more Instagram looks, but I felt this was such a close dupe for the Lit Cosmetics glitter in Vitamin C, and these are expensive. So to find a glitter that is just around 1,000 rupees to match a Lit Cosmetics glitter, I think that is just amazing, and I was really, really happy about it. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Lit Cosmetics glitter because these are expensive and I have a lot of these, which means that I do find that these are worth the money, and I want to explain why. Now, the reason I keep investing in these glitters by Lit Cosmetics is that you can really choose the kind of glitter spec that you want. So the size of the sparkle that you need. So this one, for example, is in the size 3, but you can get this in a size 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you really get to choose how big of a glitter spec you want to use for whatever look you have planned. My favorite size to work with is a size 2 because that is a finer glitter spec size, and I think it's perfect. It just makes the glitter a lot more wearable, even if it is a crazy color. But this one I ordered in size 3 just because, why not? Now, while we are on the subject of Lit Cosmetics, another glitter that I have to show you is the shade Margarita. Again, this is also in the size 3. I have been all about this glitter for so long. I've used this in so many of my Instagram looks. It's again very, very unique. I love the color shift in this. It goes from a light blue, a purple, to a Ferozy and a light green. I don't know, I think this is just an absolutely beautiful glitter. And of course, this was expensive, so this was an investment. I didn't have anything like this at the time. But thanks to Beautify by Amna, you guys can choose a much finer glitter size and almost the exact same color if you purchase the shade Pearl. This is again very, very similar. It is almost the exact same as the Lit Cosmetics glitter in Margarita. Just this glitter size on this is a little bit smaller. Another glitter that is pretty much the same thing is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade Distortion. This is the exact same thing, it's just different formula. Of course, this is not a loose glitter. Now, I have quite a few of these Urban Decay liners, and honestly, I don't reach for them as much as I thought I would when I was purchasing them. I like applying glitter sort of all over the lid when I'm doing it, and this just, I mean, it's so hard to get product out because you have to keep dunking in and keep getting it out, and then, you know what I mean? It's just a lot more effort to get the amount of glitter that you want. Okay, going to be talking about another NYX glitter. This one is in the shade Beauty Beam. This is one of their more recent launches. So the Glitter Brilliance, the one that I've been showing you up till now, were the original launch, and then they introduced a few new colors, and this one has a different name. These are the metallic glitter palettes, PA, whatever. Who cares? But these are the newer launch basically. This one has a pink base, but these are also like, it's mixed in with some holographic bits. A glitter that I think is very similar to this, it is not an exact dupe, is again the Heavy Metal Glitters. This is the shade Junk Show. Again, this also is pink, but it has, you know, some holographic bits in between, and it's very pretty. It's just a huge pain to get the glitter out of the thingy. Unless you're doing like a glitter liner in which you have to be really, really precise, then this one's amazing. Another glitter that is in the same color family, has the same holographicness to it, is the shade Destiny from Azall Cosmetics. Again, this is also really, really pretty. I think the pink on this is a little more, it's a little brighter, it's a little more Barbie, and the spec size on the Azall Cosmetics glitters I think are generally just slightly, ever so slightly larger than what you get in NYX or Beautify by Amna, so bear that in mind. And then of course Beautify by Amna had a glitter that again falls in the same color category. This is the shade Tulip. It's also pretty similar. It's a very light pink base, so this one is a paler pink as compared to all the other glitters that I've shown you, but again it has those holographic bits in between, and the glitter size on this is much smaller than the Azall Cosmetics glitter and comes very, very close to the NYX Cosmetics glitter. So there you have that. And lastly, more gold glitter, because we Desis love gold. This is an Azall Cosmetics glitter in the shade Midnight. This is a very rich, bright gold with holographic bits in between. It is very, very pretty. I used this in one of my recent looks, and that look did better than what any of my looks had done in a long time. So you guys, please show me more engagement on Instagram, okay? I'm really trying. Okay? Okay. Another glitter that is again not a dupe, but again the same color story, bright gold with holographic bits, is by Lit Cosmetics. This is the shade Rich and Famous. The size I have is size 2. The size 2 in my opinion is, like I said, the ideal Lit Cosmetics glitter size, but again it depends on the kind of looks that you're trying to achieve. It's a slightly more bronzy gold. I don't know if the camera's picking up on it, but this is just what it looks like live. And then Beautify by Amna came into the show and launched their glitter in the shade F60 Bridey, and again this is like that beautiful gold color with holographic bits in between. Very similar to Azall Cosmetics, very similar to Lit Cosmetics, but not an exact dupe. So there you have that, you guys. I'm sure if I dig through my glitter collection, I'm going to find a lot more glitters, a lot more dupes. But honestly, like, I really want to get into the tutorial now, and I'm excited to show you a palette that I've sort of rediscovered recently. And the palette that I'm talking about is by Tarte Cosmetics. It is their Energy Noir palette. I don't know if this palette is available anymore or not. It has 2 amazing shimmer shades. It has 2 really good transition shades, some deeper shades. It has a matte black and a really deep purple. It has a beautiful blush, and it has an amazing highlighter. So I bought this palette thinking that this is the palette that I'm going to use when I have to travel. And I feel like this palette cursed me, because since I've purchased this, I have not traveled. So it has been lying in my collection. I've used it a couple of times, yes, but but this was supposed to be my travel palette, and did you curse me? Like, what is the deal? I've been using a lot of like really warm tone shades on my channel, just to spice things up and just to do something a little different. I'm going to be using, well, the only shades in this palette are cool tones, so that's my only option if I'm almost dropped it. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to be using the shade Olivia from Beautify by Amna and also the shade Teal from NYX Cosmetics, only because I feel like these are the kind of shades that people usually shy away from, and I'm going to use this in today's look and hopefully make it look a little bit wearable. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so guys, the first shade that I'm going to take is going to be Stone Unturned, which is a really cool toned gray color. And I'm just going to take this on my Sigma tapered blending brush E40, and I'm going to take this into my crease and a little bit above my crease. You guys know the drill. Now I've used this very cool tone gray just to sort of give my eyes a little bit of shadow in the crease. It's just going to sort of help me map out the kind of shape that I want to create. So it's a very subtle difference. I don't even know if the camera is going to pick up on it, but it's definitely going to help me in the next step. And the next step is me taking the shade Misty Mauve, which is a very cool toned light purple color. And this I'm going to take into my crease and pretty much all over the lid, but focusing it more in my crease, blending in circular motions. The next step is taking the shade Power Plum, which is the darkest purple in this palette. And I'm going to take it on the same brush, not make a fuss about it, and apply this to the outer corner. Okay, for my next step, I'm going to take this Sigma small tapered blending brush. This is the E45. It's the one that has like a pointed tip. And I'm going to go into the darkest shade from the palette, which is called Lunar Eclipse. Just taking it on the tip of the brush and tapping off the excess. Again, just building intensity in the outer corner. I'm going to take that same color and take it along my lower lash line. Now what I just did was I took the dark purple color, which was called Power Plum, and I took it sort of 3/4 of the way inside. I'm just leaving the very inner corner of my lower lash line empty because I think I'm going to highlight there. And now I'm going to take that light purpley color, which is called Misty Mauve, and I'm going to sort of take that under where I applied the black and the deep plum color, just to sort of blend it out. Okay, now I'm going to take the metallic taupey gray sort of a color, which is called Charged Up, on my finger, and I'm going to apply it on the parts of my lid that have no color on it yet. Okay guys, now let's take a minute to talk about glitter adhesives, because you cannot apply eye glitter without giving it something to stick onto on your eyelid. Now, the one that I reach for the most and the one that I use the most and the one that I think is probably the most inexpensive out of the lot is this NYX glitter primer. This one, I think this is like my 3rd tube or something. You get a lot of it in here, so this tube may seem small, but there's a lot of product and you only need like the tiniest bit. Another similar primer is again by Inglot. This is called the Eyeshadow Keeper. This one I use when I'm using the Inglot body sparkles, because those are so fine. This one sort of catches them really well and hooks them to your eyelid. I do not recommend using this if you have a chunkier glitter to use. So for example, if you're using a Lit Cosmetics glitter, which is a size 3 or above, or the Azall Cosmetics glitters, which I think are slightly chunkier, I do not think this will hold them for too long. But the best one out of the 3 that I'm going to show you is the Lit Cosmetics Daily Wear glitter base. Now this is a liquid base. This is like the small one that I got when I ordered like a few of them together. I didn't have to pay for it, but this is expensive. So like the bigger bottle that you get is for a few thousand rupees. But this is a liquid formula, and this one is just absolutely amazing. Your glitter is not going to budge. It's not going to go anywhere. It is going to stay on your eyelid for as long as you need it to until you take it off. These are the kind of glitter primers or adhesives that you have. You can get them in liquid form or cream form. You can get them in a jar, a tube. They come in all different types of formulas. So just go for one that you trust. Go for one that you find easy to work with. I'm going to be using the NYX one just because it's inexpensive and because it's the one I use the most. And let me show you how much you really need. So you see this dot? This is more than enough to cover an eye. And how I use this is, I just sort of take it on my finger, my ring finger, and I press it exactly where I want to apply the glitter. Now, if you are doing like a really artistic look and you have to be very, very precise about how you apply your glitter, then I would recommend you use a more defined brush. Take it on the brush and then exactly go over the area that you need to apply the glitter. So on this eye, I'm going to be using the NYX glitter in teal. Again, I'm just taking some on my finger, the same finger on which I applied the primer, so that the glitter already sticks. And very carefully, I am going to pat on my eyelid, and thank the Lord, because I'm not rushing and I'm really pressing it onto my lid. I have fallout. I'm not going to say there's no fallout, but it's much less than what I was expecting. I'm just going to say that. And you guys, it's honestly natural for some glitter to drop down even as you blink, because when your eye moves, any loose glitter bits that haven't fully stuck to your eye are going to fall. But what you guys can do is you can do your base after. So clean up all the mess that you've made while applying your glitter, especially if you're a novice. If you're new at this, then there will be fallout and you need not be scared. Just do your base afterwards. And I'm going to use the shade Olivia from Beautify by Amna, which is almost like an exact dupe on the other side. So let's try and be a little more precise with this side. Okay, so the brush that I usually use, I have no clue where it is. So I'm just going to use a lip brush instead. I'm taking the product onto the lip brush and I am being very precise with this brush. So only taking the primer where I want to apply my glitter, nowhere else. And now with the same brush, I'm going to take the Beautify by Amna glitter in Olivia and just picking it up from the cap on my brush and pressing it in. So there you have it. This one is a little messy in application. I can see that the glitter is already transferring just a little bit into my crease and slightly above it. This one is a lot more precise. I can actually see the curve of my eye. You can follow whichever technique you want to, depending on the kind of look that you are trying to achieve. Okay guys, now on the inner corner that I left out, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay glitter in Distortion as a highlight. Just okay guys, liner and lashes are on. I'm just going to add a little bit more blush from the same Tarte palette. So just I feel like I need a little more color on my cheeks. Sometimes, you know, once you are done with your eye look, you realize that there is something missing on your face, and in my case that is usually blush. And while we're on the same palette, I'm going to zhuzh up my highlighter. I'm going to be using the little mini highlighter they have in the palette and just taking it on the high points of my face. Oh wow, this is nice. Oh my goodness, what? Okay, this palette is no longer going to be saved in a corner. I'm going to be using this, especially this highlighter. What shade is this? Wait, Crystal Spark. Do they make this individually? I don't think so. I'm gonna check, because this is a pretty highlighter, you guys. I mean, look at that. What? Oh dear Lord. Okay, she's going crazy. She is going all out. Ha! I love it. How amazing is this? Okay. All right. So we are officially done. I really hope you found this helpful. Can you tell that these are two separate eye glitters? Because I for sure can't. Guys, do let me know what other videos you are interested in watching. I will be happy to film them for you. If you like this video, please be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and please do ring the notification bell so that you are alerted every time I post a new video. And yeah, so I will see you all in my next video. Till then, take good care of yourselves. I love you all so much.